Okay, this is Building Vocabulary Skills, Chapter 8. I'm going to say the words first so you can practice your pronunciation with each of them. Accessible, awe, sight, compatible, exempt, prevail, propel, rational, retort, retrieve. Okay, the first word is accessible. It's an adjective. The department store was not accessible from her side of the road, so Kristen looked ahead for a U-turn. We always hung the candy canes on the Christmas tree's highest branches where they weren't accessible to the younger children. Accessible means in reach. So in these different cases, one, they wanted the candy canes not to be where the kids could reach them, so they were not accessible. You always put knives or anything sharp out of kids' reach, so they're not accessible for kids at home. The picture on the bottom is wheelchair accessible, so buildings become wheelchair accessible if they have ramps, if they have elevators, that kind of thing makes them accessible. The next word is awe. It's a noun. Nelson and Donna have different types of heroes. Although Nelson greatly admires Tom Brady, Donna is in awe of Oprah Winfrey. Sid is in awe of his gymnastics coach, whom he considers the greatest man he knows. The word means respect. Notice in both of these cases, and what you will see is in awe of, and then a person or sometimes a thing that was created by somebody. So I am in awe of, and then person's name or what person has done. Okay? That's the way that you use that particular word. The next word is cite. It's a verb. Jamal was embarrassed but pleased when his teacher cited his essay as an example of good writing. Tired of picking up after his sister, Kim cited examples of her sloppiness. Stacks of papers, piles of dirty dishes, and unwashed dishes. Dirty clothes and unwashed dishes. This word means to mention. But it's not like I mentioned what we were going to do. You're talking about specific things. Oftentimes it's used if you're writing an essay, you cite your sources. So where you got the quotes that you were using in your essay, you will cite them. So that's how it's used for this one. It's not that commonly used. The next word is compatible. It's an adjective. My former girlfriend and I weren't very compatible. Whenever she wasn't angry with me, I was angry with her. Some sweet and salty foods are compatible. For example, chocolate-covered pretzels are delicious. Compatible means able to work together. So oftentimes you will say people are compatible, they get along, they work together, they don't fight. Things can also be compatible, like it's talking about salt and sugar. So things can also be compatible as well. Exempt, this word's an adjective. Since he had never been spanked, my little brother thought he was exempt from punishment until he wrote on the walls in ink. Students with A averages were exempt from final exams, so the top 3 students began their vacation early, while the rest of us sweated it out on exam day. This word means excused. At our school, if you take the test on the first day of class and you do really, really well, oftentimes you will be exempt from that class and get to jump up to the next level. Or sometimes teachers could say, if you have a high enough grade, then you are exempt from having to come to the conference because you're already doing well in the class. So that's exempt. It's usually something that everybody else has to do and you don't have to do. You're exempt from. From is the preposition that comes after it, and then you put a noun. Next word is prevail. It's a verb. Most Hollywood movies have a happy ending. Good prevails over evil. Although Kennedy prevailed over Nixon in 1960, 8 years later, Nixon won the presidency. Prevail means to win. So in the first one, good prevails over evil. The second one person prevailed over another in a political race. So you could say one sports team prevailed over the other sports team. And if you'll notice, good prevails over. Over is the preposition that comes with this one, and then you put a noun after that. If you're in doubt whether to use it, really you can just use the word win. Okay, the next word is propel. It's a verb. My brother gave me a shove, which propelled me into the lake fully clothed. When the wind failed to propel the boat, we lowered the sails and turned on the motor. And then you'll see in the picture airplane propellers. They propel the airplane forward. So this word means to move forward. So anytime if you blow on a light object and it moves, you're propelling it. If you push something, you're propelling it. So that's pretty much how that one's used. It has an object. Propelled me, propelled the boat. The next word is rational. It's an adjective. The belief that breaking a mirror brings 7 years of bad luck isn't rational. The only bad luck it could really bring is stepping on a sharp piece of broken glass. Mr. Tibbs isn't rational. In addition to believing he came from another planet, he does crazy things like shoveling snow in his pajamas. This is reasonable. If you're doing something that makes sense, it would be rational. If it doesn't make sense, it would be irrational. So if you thought that you could lose weight by exercising and dieting, that's very rational. If you thought that you could lose weight just simply by hoping that the weight would go away without doing anything, that would be irrational. Lots of examples you could think of there. Retort. This is a noun, or it could also be a verb as well. Sue, who is slender, boasted, "Thin is in." So Pat, who is heavy, gave this retort, "Well, fat is where it's at." When Shelley's balding boyfriend made fun of her new perm, her retort was, "Jealous?" This word means an answer, but it's not just any answer. You're not just answering a question. You're giving kind of a sharp comeback if somebody is teasing you or making a comment that you don't like, then you're retorting, you're giving a retort. It's kind of a sharp comeback. It's showing a little bit of humor, not just a normal answer. Okay, the last word is retrieve. My dog, Floyd, refuses to retrieve a thrown frisbee. Instead of running to bring it back, he only tilts his head and gives me a questioning look. I can't retrieve my sweater from the library until tomorrow, since the library had closed by the time I realized the sweater was missing. The word means to get back. There are dogs called retrievers. They love to go and get stuff. So that if you throw a ball, they're going to go get it for forever. So the dogs will go retrieve the ball. Also, if you're in class and you realized you left your phone in the car, you might go and retrieve it. You can use it like that, but often, most times you hear this used with dogs, to be honest. Okay, that's it for this chapter. Thanks.